Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. I am Akshay Parmar, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in IT ICT department. We have seen signals in details, right? Let's see some of the characteristics in this particular video. The outline of this today's video is, first of all we will see what is signals. After that, one by one we will see the characteristics of the signals, amplitude, period, frequency and phase in brief. The characteristics of the signals like amplitude, periods, frequency, phase and their relations are we will see in this today's lecture, right? Let's start with what is signals. Signals can be the analog or digital. As we have seen that the analog signals can have any values in the given range, where the digital signals can have only the discrete number of values in the given range, right? As you can see in this figure that the analog signals, it can have any value in the given range, right? Where in the digital signals, it have only the discrete number of the values in the given range, right? Digital signal can have only discrete number of values in the given range. As you can see this in the figure that the analog signal can have any value in the given range, where digital signals have only the discrete number of values, right? Let's see the characteristics of the signals, or we can say that the sine waves, right? There are the mainly four type of characteristics there: amplitude, period, frequency and phase. Let's begin with the amplitude first. What do you mean by the amplitude? The value of signal at any point on the wave is called the amplitude. It is equal to vertical distance from given point on the wave from the horizontal axis, right? The maximum amplitude is equal to the highest value it reaches on the vertical axis, and amplitude can be the measured in terms of volt, ampere and watt and etc., right? Here you can see this in the figure, right? The amplitude is vertical distance from the point, any given point on the horizontal point, right? This is the maximum amplitude at the positive side. This is the maximum amplitude at the negative side, right? We can say that the minimum amplitude. And here the x-axis at the x-axis the amplitude is always remain 0. Here you can see this in the figure that your amplitude at any given point is the height of the signals, right? So this is how the amplitude is measured. The unit of the amplitude depends on the type of the signals. For an electrical signals, unit of the amplitude is majorly or normally volt, ampere, watt and etc., right? Let's move forward about the period and the frequency. What do you mean by the term period and what do you mean by the term frequency? The period is amount of time a signal needs to complete one full cycle, where frequency refers to the number of periods in one unit time. As you can see this in the figure that the amount of time a signals need to complete one full cycle. Here you can observe in this figure that the amount of time a signal needs to complete one full cycle is called the period. The time is taken for completing the one full cycle is called the period. And what do you mean by the frequency? And in the frequency, the number of periods are taken in one unit time is called the frequency. In 1 second, how many complete full cycles are there? This is called the frequency of that waves, right? Right, so this is the basic difference between the periods and the frequency, right? Let's see the periods and its units. The unit of the periods is expressed in the seconds, right? In the communication, generally there are 5 units which are used with the period. The famous is the seconds, right? The 1 seconds. After that, milliseconds, microseconds, nanoseconds and picoseconds, right? Let's see what is the milliseconds. Millisecond is the 10 raised to minus 3 seconds. The thousandths part portions of the second is called the milliseconds. Microseconds, 10 raised to minus 6 seconds is equal to the 1 microseconds. Nanoseconds, 10 raised to minus 9 seconds is equal to the 1 nanoseconds. And the 10 raised to minus 12 seconds is equal to the picosecond. There are the decaseconds and all the terms are there also, right? But here there are the 5 major terms that we are using to express the period, right? After that, this is all about the period. How do you measure the frequency? We are measuring frequency in normally the hertz, right? the unit of frequency is expressed in the hertz after the German physician Heinrich Hertz, right? In the communication, generally 5 units are used to measure the frequency, right? The most famous is the hertz, 1 hertz, right? After that, the kilohertz 10 raised to 3 hertz, the megahertz 10 raised to 6 hertz is equal to the megahertz, gigahertz is equal to 10 raised to 9 hertz is equal to 1 gigahertz, terahertz is equal to 10 raised to 12 hertz is equal to 1 terahertz, right? So here in this way we are measuring the frequency also, right? Let's see how do you convert seconds into milliseconds and microseconds and all that, right? Let's see a simple example. Represent the 100 milliseconds in term of seconds, microseconds, nanoseconds and the picoseconds, right? Here you can see that the 100 milliseconds, we have seen that. What do you mean by the 1 milliseconds? 1 milliseconds is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 seconds, right? So we have measured the 100 milliseconds, and then in the milliseconds, the milliseconds is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 seconds. So 100 into 10 raised to 3 seconds is equal to 100 milliseconds. So 100 into 10 raised to minus 3 is equal to 0.1. So 100 milliseconds is equal to 0.1 seconds. Like that, if you want to convert the 100 milliseconds into the microseconds, so 100 milliseconds is equal to 100 into 10 raised to minus 3 seconds. After that, we have observed that the 1 microseconds is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 seconds. So what do you mean by that 1 seconds is equal to how many microseconds? So 1 second is equal to 10 raised to 6 microseconds, right? So we have put it that 100 into 10 raised to minus 3, which is already measured. After that, to convert the seconds into the microseconds, we will multiply by the 10 raised to 6. So 100 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 10 raised to 6 is equal to 10 raised to 2 plus minus 2 plus minus 3 plus 6 is equal to 10 raised to 5. So 100 milliseconds are converted into the microseconds. So 100 milliseconds is equal to 10 raised to 5 microseconds. So 100 milliseconds is converted into the microsecond, which is 10 raised to 5 microseconds. Like that, you can convert that milliseconds into the nanoseconds and milliseconds into picoseconds. So 100 milliseconds is equal to 10 raised to 8 nanoseconds and 100 milliseconds is equal to 10 raised to 11 picoseconds, right? Like that, you can convert the hertz into kilohertz and all that, right? So similar kind of way, represent and 14 megahertz into the hertz, kilohertz, gigahertz and terahertz. We have already seen that what is the hertz, kilohertz, megahertz, terahertz and all that, right? We have already seen that hertz, kilohertz is equal to 10 raised to 3 megahertz, gigahertz, terahertz and all that, right? Converting the milliseconds into the microseconds, teraseconds and all that, we can convert the megahertz into the gigahertz, kilohertz and terahertz, all that, right? So 14 megahertz is equal to 14 into 10 raised to 6 hertz, right? As the megahertz is equal to 10 raised to 6 hertz. Like that, the 14 megahertz is equal to 10 raised to 14 into 10 raised to 3 kilohertz. The 14 megahertz is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 gigahertz. If you want to convert a 1 megahertz into the hertz, so the 1 megahertz is equal to 10 raised to 6 hertz. 1 megahertz is equal to 10 raised to 3 kilohertz. 1 megahertz is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 gigahertz. And 1 megahertz is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 terahertz, right? So similar kind of way, if we want to convert the 14 megahertz into the hertz, so just multiply the 40 with the 10 raised to 6. So it will convert that megahertz into the hertz. Like that, 14 megahertz is equal to 14 into 10 raised to 3 kilohertz, as 1 megahertz is equal to 10 raised to 3 kilohertz, right? So similar kind of way, we can convert the 14 megahertz into the gigahertz and terahertz also. What is the relation between the frequency and the period? They both are connected inversely, right? The frequency is equal to inverse of the period and period is inverse of the frequency. If we represent the f as a frequency and t as a period, so frequency is equal to 1 upon period. So f is equal to 1 by t And if period is equal to a similar kind of way, the period is 1 divided by frequency, right? The inverse of the frequency is called the period, and inverse of the period is called the frequency, similar kind of way, right? So T is equal to 1 divided by F. By this relation, if we are given a frequency or a period, we can find other parameters also, right? Let's see by the example. A sine wave has a frequency of 6 Hz. Find its period. As we have already seen that T is equal to 1 upon F. So T is equal to 1 by 6. So the period of that wave, which has a frequency of 6 Hz, is 0.70 seconds, right? 1 divided by 6 seconds, right? The similar kind of way. A sine wave has the frequency 8 kilohertz. Let's find its period. As we have already seen that the T is equal to 1 divided by F. So 1 by 8 kilohertz is equal to 0.000125 seconds. 125 megaseconds, right? Similar kind of way. If we have a period of that wave, we can find its frequency also. So a sine wave is taking 4 seconds to complete its full cycle. So what is its frequency? So 1 is f is equal to 1 by t. So 1 divided by 4 is its frequency, right? So f is equal to 1 by 4 is equal to 0.25 hertz is its frequency of that wave, which is taking 4 seconds to complete its one cycle, right? So this is how you can convert the frequency into the period and period into the frequency, right? This is the relationship between the frequency and the period. Let's see the other characteristics. Phase. What do you mean by that? The term phase, it describes the position of the waveform relative to the time 0, right? The phase is mainly measured in the degree or a radian. A 360 degree is equal to 2 pi radians, right? The phase shift of the 360 corresponds to shift a complete period, right? If we shift a signal into the 360 phase, it is corresponding to its original period, right? Phase shift of the 360 degree is corresponds to a shift of the complete period, right? Similar kind of way, phase shift of the 2 pi radian is correspond to the shift of the complete period, right? The phase shift of the 180 degree corresponds to a shift of the half of the period, right? And the phase shift of the 90 degree is correspond to a shift of the quarter of the period, right? Similar kind of way, the pi radian of the phase shift is correspond to a shift of the half period, and the pi by 2 phase shift is corresponds to a shift of the quarter of the period, right? We have seen the amplitude, frequency, period and phase, right? So the changes in the attribute can be introduced into the signals and controlled electronically, right? Such controls provide a basis for all the telecommunication, which will be discussed in the further chapters, right? Let's see the connection between the amplitude, wavelength and the phase, right? If we changes in the amplitude, its height of the signals is differ, right? If we change the wavelength, its frequency or its period is differ, or if we change its phase, it's shifting towards the x-axis, right? This is the relation between the amplitude, wavelength and the phase, right? This is the pictorial representation of the how if we change its attribute, right? Just like an amplitude, wavelength and phase, how the signals is changing its nature or changing its shape, right? That we have seen in this figure, right? So let's move forward about the time and the frequency domain, right? Till now we have represented the sine wave using the time domain plot, right? In the time domain plot, we show the changes in the signals or like the amplitude and etc. with respect to time only. Phase and the frequency are not explicitly measured into on the time domain plot. To show the relationship between the amplitude and frequency, we use the frequency domain plot, right? Frequency spectrum is the collection of all the component frequency it contains and represented using the frequency domain graph, right? The bandwidth of the signal is the width of the frequency spectrum, right? So the bandwidth refers to the range of the component frequency and the frequency spectrum refers to the element within that range, right? So the bandwidth refers to the range of the component frequency and the frequency spectrum refers to the element within that range, right? The bandwidth is equal to the highest frequency of that range and the lowest frequency of that range, right? This is the difference between the highest and the lowest frequency is called the bandwidth. So in this lecture we have seen the characteristics about the waves, right? So amplitude, frequency, periods, phase, and after that we have seen the frequency and the time domain also, right? This is all about today's session. Thank you for the watching.